PC Component Manufacturing Industry Chapter 1. Why do different companies make graphics cards with NVIDIA chips? There are different brands on the graphics card market, but the chips are often the same. How does this happen? It's simple. NVIDIA and AMD create graphics processors, but they don't produce video cards themselves in large quantities. Instead, their partners, Asus, MSI, Gigabyte, Zotac and others, buy chips and make their own models based on them. The difference between them is in the cooling system, materials, and even factory overclocking. Some versions are quieter, others are cooler, and others accelerate faster. And then there are reference models, but NVIDIA makes itself, and custom ones where manufacturers make their own improvements. This gives users a choice between stability and better performance. Chapter 2. Why do we need third-party motherboard manufacturers? Intel and AMD create processors, but other companies make motherboards. Why is that? The fact is that each new processor series requires a compatible board with the corresponding chipset. Intel and AMD only set standards, while manufacturers such as Asus, ASRock, MSI, and Gigabyte create models for different tasks. They add additional connectors, powerful power systems, improved audio chips, and even RGB lighting. This way, customers can choose a board for a regular office or a powerful gaming station, and high competition between brands forces companies to introduce new technologies. Chapter 3. Why do different brands produce memory and storage devices, but only a few make chips? The memory market is dominated by three companies: Samsung, Micron, and SK Hynix. They produce DRAM and NAND chips, which are then sold to other brands such as Kingston, Crucial, Corsair, and many others. These brands purchase chips, test them, combine them into modules, add cooling systems, and offer them to users. Some modules undergo special selection, the so-called bind, which allows them to operate at higher frequencies. Thus, the final product, despite having the same base, may differ significantly in characteristics and price. Chapter 4. How is it that there are so few processors on the market? The x86 processor market is controlled by two companies, Intel and AMD. This is due to the fact that the development of new processors requires huge costs and many years of research. In the ARM system sector, the situation is somewhat different. Qualcomm, Apple and others produce their own processors, but they do not compete directly with Intel and AMD, as they are focused on mobile devices and server solutions. The production of processors is also concentrated at several companies such as TSMC and Samsung, while Intel has its own factories. This explains why there are very few new players in this industry. Chapter 5. Why are there so many brands in the production of power supplies, but few real manufacturers? There are many brands on the power supply market, but the production itself is concentrated in the hands of several OEM companies such as Seasonic, CWT and FSP. These companies develop and manufacture power supplies, which are then sold under different brands. Some brands order exclusive models with special features, but in general, most of the market belongs to several major manufacturers. 80+ certification also plays an important role in influencing marketing and pricing, as high-performance units are considered better and more reliable. Chapter 6. The PC industry's dependence on China and Taiwan. Where do they make PC accessories? Mostly in Asia. China is responsible for the assembly, while Taiwan is responsible for the advanced technology. Take, for example, TSMC. It produces chips for Apple, NVIDIA, AMD. Without it, the modern industry simply could not exist. And China is a key player in the assembly and supply of components. However, trade wars, sanctions, and crises can affect supplies, causing component prices to rise sharply. So dependence on these countries is one of the main factors affecting the PC market. Chapter 7. Why are there so many custom cases and cooling systems in the PC industry? The computer case and cooling system are not just aesthetics, but also functionality. Today, there are a huge number of manufacturers on the market, such as NZXT, Cooler Master, Corsair, Fractal Design, and others. They offer a wide range of enclosures with different features: glass panels, advanced ventilation, RGB lighting, and more. Cooling also plays an important role. Air and liquid systems are becoming increasingly popular, allowing you to reduce the temperature of the processor and graphics card, and therefore improve their performance. Chapter 8. How is the gaming accessories industry developing? In addition to components, the PC industry also includes a wide range of peripheral devices, mechanical keyboards, gaming mice, and professional headsets. Brands such as Razer, Logitech, SteelSeries, and HyperX actively compete with each other, offering users solutions for every taste and budget. Many devices are designed with the needs of sports players and streamers in mind, which affects their functionality, design, and software. The development of technologies such as wireless communications, adaptive switches, and personalization through software makes this market one of the fastest growing. Chapter 9. RAM diversity. Why are there so many options? Random access memory RAM plays a key role in computer performance. Although there are many brands on the market, only a few companies produce memory chips themselves: Samsung, Micron, and SK Hynix. However, the final product may vary greatly due to factors such as clock speed, timings, cooling radiators, and even RGB lighting. Manufacturers such as Corsair, Skill, Kingston, and Crucial create modules with different characteristics for different categories of users, from office solutions to gaming. The development of new technologies such as DDR5 increases bandwidth and reduces power consumption, providing increased PC performance. Chapter 10. Hard drives and SSDs. Why are traditional HDD disks still relevant? Despite the development of SSD drives, hard drives HDD disks remain in demand. This is due to their low cost per gigabyte of memory, which makes them ideal for storing large amounts of data. The largest HDD manufacturers such as Seagate, Western Digital, and Toshiba continue to develop technologies, increasing the volume of disks and improving their reliability. However, SSDs are gradually displacing HDD disks from the mass market due to their high speed and lack of mechanical parts. SSD manufacturers, including Samsung, Kingston, and Crucial, are actively implementing new technologies such as NVMe and PCIe 4.0, 5.0, making drives even faster and more efficient. Chapter 11. Why are old components not always cheaper? It seems logical that outdated processors and graphics cards should cost less, but this is not always the case. Sometimes older models even get more expensive. This happens if they remain popular, but are no longer being released. For example, older generation processors may be in demand by owners of older motherboards, while video cards remain in price if their performance is still relevant. Chapter 12. How does mining affect the graphics card market? Cryptocurrency mining has a serious impact on the graphics card market. When the exchange rate of cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin or Ethereum increases, miners begin to actively buy video cards, which causes a shortage in the market. Manufacturers do not have time to increase production volumes, and this leads to a sharp increase in prices. When the cryptocurrency market falls, the activity of miners decreases, and video cards begin to enter the secondary market. However, such cards are usually already badly worn due to intensive mining work, which reduces their durability and performance. This creates risks for the buyer, who may encounter problems when using such video cards, despite the lower price. Chapter 13. Russian-made components. Is there an alternative? When it comes to manufacturing PC components, the United States, Taiwan, China, and South Korea are usually mentioned. And what about Russia? In the field of processors, Russia is making strides with Elbrus and Baikal chips aimed at government and corporate systems. However, they are inferior to their Western counterparts in terms of performance, and their production depends on foreign facilities such as TSMC, which limits development under sanctions. The situation with video cards is more complicated. There is no mass production of graphics processors in Russia, and developments are focused on specialized tasks. There are also problems with RAM and SSD. Although module assembly and testing are possible in Russia, the chips and flash memory themselves are imported. But Russia has achieved success in the field of peripherals and server equipment. Enclosures, power supplies, and server platforms are manufactured, but dependence on foreign components in the consumer segment remains high. Independence may increase in the future, but at the moment there is no alternative to Western and Asian brands. Chapter 14. Gaming on laptops versus PCs. What to choose? Gaming laptops provide excellent mobility, allowing you to play anywhere without having to connect separate devices. They are becoming more powerful, offering performance for most modern games, as well as good high-resolution and refresh rate screens. However, when it comes to performance, desktop PCs are significantly superior to laptops. PCs can be assembled with more powerful components, and their cooling system is often much more efficient, which is important for long gaming sessions. It's also worth noting that desktop PCs are easier to upgrade. You can easily replace the graphics card, processor, or add RAM, which cannot be done with a laptop, where components are usually integrated and cannot be replaced. Chapter 15. How to choose a PC for effective work in the office. For non-IT work, it is important to choose a PC that ensures stable and fast operation at no extra cost. You should start with the processor. For most office tasks, such as working with texts, tables, and a web browser, a mid-range processor, such as an Intel Core i5 or similar, will be sufficient. This will ensure good performance and multitasking without overloading the system. Next, you should pay attention to the RAM. 8 GB of RAM will be enough to comfortably work with several programs at the same time and edit documents at a good level. If you often have to work with large files or multiple applications at the same time, it is better to choose a PC with 16 GB of RAM, which provides additional system stability. Finally, it is better to choose an SSD drive with a capacity of 256 GB or more for data storage. This will ensure fast loading of the system and applications, as well as reliable data storage. HDD can be useful for archived data, but SSD will significantly increase the overall speed. It is also important to choose a monitor with a good resolution and screen size so that working with documents and spreadsheets is easy for the eyes. Chapter 16. Windows or Linux. Windows is the choice of most users. Its interface is simple and intuitive, and support for programs and games is top-notch. Everything you need to work with office applications, multimedia content, or games will work seamlessly. For most Windows users, it is a ready-made solution that does not require any additional settings. What if you want more control? Linux is a system for those who are not afraid to customize every detail. It is suitable for developers, system administrators, and those who work with big data or need maximum security. Although its interface may seem more complicated, it gives you the freedom to optimize and customize the system. So, if you need a simple, working solution with minimal settings, Windows is a great choice. But if you want to fully control your system and are ready to figure out its settings, Linux will open up wide possibilities for you. It all depends on what tasks you set for yourself. Chapter 17. How are new components tested before release? Before the components go on sale, they undergo rigorous tests to ensure their reliability and performance. The first stage is compatibility testing, which checks how the new processor, graphics card, or motherboard interact with other components, such as RAM or cooling systems. This is necessary in order to avoid compatibility issues at the PC assembly stage. Then stress testing begins. At this stage, the components are subjected to maximum loads. Processors and graphics cards are running at maximum capacity to test their stability and performance under extreme conditions. For example, video cards can be loaded for several hours to ensure their ability to maintain a high frame rate without overheating or crashing. Finally, each component undergoes long-term durability and reliability tests. They include cycling on and off, testing for operating time, and responding to temperature fluctuations. Only after successful completion of all these stages are the components allowed to be mass-produced, confident in their stability and readiness for use. Chapter 18. PC Component Awards. In the world of computer components, there are awards that celebrate the best innovations and achievements in design and performance. One of the most prestigious is the Red Dot Design Award. It is awarded for outstanding product design, including PC components such as enclosures, keyboards, and mice. The companies that have received this award demonstrate not only the functionality, but also the uniqueness of their products. Another important award is the CES Innovation Awards, which were presented at the largest technology exhibition CES. This recognition is given to companies for innovative solutions in the field of technologies and components. Video cards, processors, and motherboards that showcase the most advanced achievements in the industry are often awarded here. In addition, many manufacturers, such as Intel, hold their own innovation awards, recognizing the best developments in the field of components using their technologies. These awards highlight the importance of innovation and quality in creating components that shape the future of computing technology and enhance the user experience around the world.